never seen before.
Similar.
Just simply stating that if we're going to complain about one thing, we also have to complain about the other. The Snyder heads and the gun heads need to chill out and realize that they're both defending the same thing. They're both defending an art that either one wants to accept as art.
That's the whole point. You're defending what you like. What's your point?
I'm just going to go here and basically state that it just looks ugly. At the end of the day,
it's subjective. But okay.
Hey, if you're trying to impress the general audience, and I've asked a lot of my friends who are general...
Your friends. Friends usually agree with each other. That's sort of how friends work. And you support your friends. Stuff like that.
Audience people that watch it, it looks ugly. For some reason, gun comic fans are like loving this trailer. And
are you serious? I talked to a lot of people, not my friends, just complete strangers that could easily disagree with me, and they liked the trailer. What about that? I talked to possibly like 20 or 40 people, mainly because I just talk to people. That's it.
And like I said, we'll get to how I feel about it. The color of everything just looks really ugly. And that's one of my biggest gripes with this.
Subjective, but go ahead.
Movie. I don't like how it looks. We got a few shots of Smallville, Kansas, and I'm going to say, if you're going to do a shot of Kansas, get down on the grass, man. Get some good angle shots. Who the hell is the cinematographer?
That's a shot to show the location. What cinematography do you need to show where they're at? What low angle shots?
The guy who directed The Flash is the cinematographer, and you guys think this is good? You guys didn't like The Flash.
The main negative gripe about The Flash wasn't the cinematography. It was mainly the CGI. I know, because people have constantly said the CGI of The Flash sucked. But, go ahead.
But, okay. Alright. It's fine. We like this, though. We'll move on. Smallville, Kansas, for me, is always something that is...
And it's a teaser trailer, so they showed the shot, it showed the location, because it's a teaser trailer. It's showing the feeling of the movie, not the actual movie.
Is very important when it comes to Superman movies. And if you can't do Kansas right, you lose me. And
this was shot in location in an actual place. Okay.
And honestly, I look at it and I'm just like, damn, this is really interesting how Smallville, Kansas just looks like my backyard.
Because it's a real location. And this is a backyard. How's a house in your backyard? That doesn't make sense.
So, all right, that works. Again, we'll wait reserve judgment for Kansas and Smallville until the movie comes out, and then we can see from there. But his dad is going to be alive in this, and that's something I'm very interested to see how it, how it changes up how we view Superman. So,
in the comics and stuff, his dad is alive. I guess you're only saying he's alive in movie form is interesting, I guess.
That's going to be cool. I do think that's cool. So, go ahead and give that one a cool meter up. Let's talk about after the fact that Krypto grabs him and goes to potentially the Fortress of Solitude, that we get a really cool shot of Superman saving this girl. Now, here is where the video changes. This is a cool shot. I like this. This is, for me, something that I feel like is Superman. A lot of people talk about hope and stuff like that, and I get what they're trying to mean, but this right here, we can all agree this is Superman. So we get into a spot where we see LexCorp, which I don't know why it's called LuthorCorp, but we see Lex Luthor, and honestly, LexCorp, which I don't know why it's called LuthorCorp.
It's LuthorCorp because in the comics, like you said you read, LuthorCorp was the family business, and then later on, Lex Luthor takes over and becomes LexCorp, and then after that, I believe his sister takes over. It'll be L Corp. because Alina or something, right? I completely forgot her name, but like definitely like sister takes over. So if you know about Superman and you showed the comics that you read, you should know Luthor Corp was the original, right? This is evidence that he doesn't know what he's talking about, because Luthor Corp is in the comics. Guess he doesn't read the comics he showed, right?
But we see Lex Luthor, and honestly, Lex Luthor looks amazing. We gotta give another pro to the casting, because I do think David Cornsweet, Rachel, Nicholas Hoult, I think that's a solid casting. Even the guy who they casted as Jimmy, I don't know why, that just screams 90s Jimmy to me. So I like Lex Luthor, looks amazing. I honestly think this is probably gonna be one of the strong points of this movie, is that Lex Luthor will finally be taken very seriously. And maybe more comic booky, which I'm hoping for, especially with these shots that I've been seeing. I'm down for a comic book Lex. I don't think like average people know what comic book Lex Luthor is, but like he's pretty good at that. So like if we get something like that, I'm down for it. Then we quickly get like, you know, a lot of scenes of Superman just kind of doing stuff, like kid asking for him getting bolted in the head with like some trash. It shows that there's gonna be conflict with his existence. And then Guy Gardner, let's go ahead and talk about that. Guy Gardner's hair, he looks terrible. He looks, guys, this looks awful. Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, you know, that's not what we meant. We wanted, at the time, we probably wanted him as Hal Jordan, but honestly, right now, this is what we wanted. But hey, we got it. Here it is. Oh God, please don't tell me Green Lanterns is gonna be bad. So we get a view of.
Oh, okay. That's the point I gotta point out again. That's Guy Gardner. He has the bowl cut. You didn't really point out the fact that he has the bowl cut. But okay. Let's do that.
Of Guy Gardner and a lot of explosions. Boom, bang, boom.
Sorry, I just realized I wasn't in frame, but yeah, he does have the bowl cut. It's comic book accurate. He doesn't point that out. I guess he just doesn't like the comic book accuracy, because he doesn't like his hair. Doesn't like the character, I guess. But, okay.
For some reason, Clark is talking to Lois while there's like a bullshit ball outside and people potentially dying. And then there's just a...
Potentially dying. Like Man of Steel when they were fighting in the city that wasn't evacuated. Well, this could be a dramatic moment, saying goodbye, because this fight might be stronger than Superman is used to. So he's preparing to possibly die. But yeah, he's not doing something right now. Maybe a quick talk to his loved one before he risks his life. But okay.
A lot of different shots of the movie that, you know, I could say some are cool, but you can get really the aspect that the trailer feels like a James Gunn film, and you really feel like there's, just by the way that it looks, there's just a lot of people. It's no longer a solo act Superman film.
Like interviews that James Gunn has, he says this is not an ensemble movie. They're going to be supporting one. And the biggest support character is going to be Mr. Terrific. And you can tell that because the behind the scenes photos, you see Mr. Terrific with Superman in multiple shots, multiple scenes and stuff. Yeah.
It's a group of different people in Superman's life in a team up, I guess. You know, it's kind of weird. It shows Mr. Terrific, it shows Hawkgirl, it shows, I think, a little bit of the Authority, which we think it shows Hawk.
Oh, funny. This shot was exclusive to theaters, so I guess he took someone's footage that they shot in the theater.
Girl. It shows, I think, a little bit of the Authority, which we need to get into the villains of this film and who potentially Superman's going to fight, because you see him fighting a monster at some point, and then a lot of people have been telling me he's been fighting Ultraman, which if we are going to fight Ultraman, are we opening up a can of worms of like the multiverse, because isn't Ultraman from Earth 2, and like he's not from Earth 2, but like isn't he from like another Earth?
It could be a different type of Ultraman thing, It could be Lex Luthor creates a character and uses the name Ultraman. But go ahead.
And like he's bad over there, and that would open up another can of worms. Or is DC doing the multiverse now?
Nope.
It's just, are we not gonna do that anymore? Or if it's gonna be like, hey, we want to make Bizarro but not make him ugly, go ahead and make it David Cornsweet as Ultraman. Maybe. I think he's going to be attached to the Authority, which is that team that's where I think James Gunn is trying to push. Like there's one comic I have, Superman and the Authority, where he leads that team, and as you can see, there's a lot of similarities. So I think he might go in this direction where Superman ends up joining the Authority instead of the Justice League. But we'll see. I think it's very interesting the characters James Gunn chose to put around this Superman for the trailer. How do I feel about the trailer overall though? It's a trailer. It's a superhero trailer. It's one of those things that I'm not. Man, I wanted it to be exciting, and I've seen a lot.
Oh, this is a teaser. You have to emphasize this is only a teaser. But go ahead.
That people just ride exuberant amount of excitement, and I'm not trying.
And this shot was from the teaser of the teaser.
Trying to rain on their parade, but it just, as someone who's a huge fan of Superman, I think we're owed a better movie at this point.
Huge fan of Superman, but didn't know LexCorp. Can you explain that?
A better movie that unison unites us all, and we would hope that it is this movie, but I just don't think it's going to be that.
Nothing unites us all because people like me were very against the Snyderverse stuff. And people like you are against the James Gunn stuff. So no matter what, it's divided. Even Marvel's divided because some people like some of the movies that failed for Marvel. Some people loved hate those movies and stuff like that. So even Marvel's sort of split, but yeah.
I don't think people will accept this movie even if it comes out good, and that's the problem because I just don't think it does enough to win that side of the people over. And what I mean by that side, I mean Snyder fans and also just general audience in general. I mean DC.
General audience can't be no movie wins over every single general audience member. It's impossible. Literally impossible. Name one movie that every single person in the world loves. Name that movie. You can't. Because you can always find someone that doesn't like that movie you're talking about.
And superhero movies are dying, and this is kind of the last chance. So I try not to talk about it so negatively, but we have to be realistic here. If we could talk about the time frame of everything, we were about to get Man of Steel 2 before this happened, and all of a sudden he axes it, and he says he didn't axe Man of Steel 2. But to be fair, Henry had a job, came out, and then all of a sudden he didn't, and James Gunn has a new Superman. So you do the math, guys. And honestly, I don't think people would.
Wait, hold on.
And James Gunn has a new Superman. So you do the math, guys.
Okay. His contract ended. He didn't renew his contract with James Gunn, so he wasn't fired. He was just not hired by James Gunn. You do the math, guys.
And honestly, I don't think people would have been so upset if we didn't have that Superman movie with Henry. And that's the thing, Snyder fan. People are going to be like, he's a Snyder fan. Also, Henry wanted to do a different movie too, and he wanted to do it with a different director. So Man of Steel 2 could have been completely different, which that would have been awesome to see. We could have had a send-off for Henry, but I think that's the biggest reason why this film is never going to really get the welcome party that everybody wants, or the Gunn heads are delusional about, because they think Gunn never misses, but...
You mean delusional? You just don't like James Gunn. That's a fact.
Honestly, I've said this before. Guardians of the Galaxy and Scooby-Doo is not a good resume for you to have Superman. Just saying. But...
What about Super? What about Dawn of the Dead? What about some of the trauma films? What about the fact that he produced a lot of the Marvel movies outside of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
It's okay. We have to see this through and see how it goes. And hopefully, if it does go well, hey, I can eat my words and watch the movie and shut up. I'll do that. I'll admit, if it's great, honestly, I'll be a fan. I'll buy the merch. I'll fan out. I'll geek.
But you're not, because you're already stepping in hating it. And also, even if you don't like it, if it ends up being successful, you should still say you're wrong about it, because if the ratings are high for the general ratings and then the critic ratings, or just the general ratings and the critic rating's probably low, or the other way around, it's going to be somewhat of a success if you like the box office plus the ratings. But yeah.
Out with y'all and enjoy it. I mean, I was wrong. But in the meantime, while we do watch what I have and see what is provided for me, I just feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like we're getting something that's going to really be impactful, that's going to change. Like, Gunn's style doesn't make Superman stand out. And my biggest issue with this as well is that Superman is always compared to Christopher Reeves in the movies. And unfortunately, we're getting back to that Superman Returns point in our timeline where you guys remember when we were like, oh, we got to go back to make a Christopher Reeves type Superman film. Oh, we did that. We didn't like it because it didn't have that much action. And it was a continuation of Chris. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, but the style was different. It was the same kind of characteristics and stuff like that, but the style and the concepts were different.
We're gonna do it again. Okay. Because, yeah, it looks like we're doing it again, at least with the feel of it and trying to get the look up and the song they used for the trailer. It just feels like they're really trying to give you that same feel like Christopher Reeve Superman is going to come back and bite you in the ass with this.
It's like James Bond using the same music. It's like Star Wars using the same music. Okay.
Nostalgia. Do you have any plot? We got nostalgia. And it looks like this film is going to be nostalgia bait. And that's what's scary to me, is because we need to stop using Christopher Reeves as the placeholder for the Superman film and media and not be afraid to take risks, because at the end of the day, the comics are actually what Superman is. And if you actually read as much comics as I do, you understand that. We have yet to...
You read a lot of comics, but didn't know Lex Luthor had Luthor Corp first and then the Lex Corp. Okay.
Make a full-strength Superman on the big screen yet. Like, Henry was the closest thing.
And you also didn't like the comic book accurate Guy Gardner. But you read comics. Okay.
Comic accurate people will agree. In the sense of strength, presentation, sure, if you want to talk about the story, we'll talk about it later. But at this point, Henry just has that look and mantra, and there's a reason why people pick on David's costume. I mean, look at these two together. And
But Henry Cavill was English, not American. That's the one positive thing David Cornsweet has.
Tell me who's Superman.
Was this the first image of the suit? Or was it that almost black and white image where he's like holding the safe?
But besides the point in picking favorites, I still think David Cornsweet is going to knock it out of the park. I think he looks great. I think he looks good as Superman. Looks like a CW Superman, honestly. But hopefully he can turn it around and make it like something impactful for me to really geek over and enjoy and watch over and over again. Ultimately, I just am disappointed.
You're bashing on with the CW Superman, but everyone loves Superman and Lois. Actually, the people that watched like the whole series love Superman and Lois. So much so that they're mad that they're not continuing it to like 6 seasons. But, okay.
With the trailer, I don't think I'm in the mass majority of people that are hyped to see this movie. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if this film is going to reach this movie. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know. Think I'm in the mass majority. Ultimately, I just am disappointed with the trailer. I don't think I'm in the mass majority of people that are hyped to see this movie. I'm kind.
Yeah, you're in the minority right now, because I so far watched countless amount of reactions to the trailer, and everyone says it's good, entertaining. Some people like the Man of Steel movie. Even they say this trailer was entertaining. But that's all I have to say. Yeah.